In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the drawing or writing feature with your Cricut. I'll walk you through the logistics of it in Design Space, and then we'll finish off the video by making these gift tags as a project. So if you didn't know already, your Cricut Explore, Maker, or Joy has the capability to draw using pens or markers, which is super cool and is actually one of my favorite features about the Cricut machine. It can do so much more than just cut, and drawing is one of those features. So you can either draw text or you can draw images, and I'm excited to kind of walk through that with you guys today. So let's get started by learning how to add some text to our canvas and then how to switch it to be able to draw it. So the first thing I want to point out for you guys is you have to make sure you have the correct machine selected up here in the top right hand corner. So if you click, you can toggle between all three. It is important to know you can draw on all three machines, which is super awesome, but it is really important to make sure that you have the right one selected. I'm using the Maker, but like I said, you can use any machine to draw. So the next step to be able to draw some text is to add it. So I'm going to come to the left hand side here and click on text, and we'll just type in hello just as a sample so you can see how to do this. And if you head up to the top here, this top panel right along here, this is how you can edit your text. As you can see, you can change the font, the size, the spacing. You can adjust your text from there. So if we want to draw text, we simply have to change the line type of the text. So you'll have to click on your text, and if you come up on this top left hand area, you'll see it says line type. Then if you click on this drop down, it says cut. These are all the different things that your Cricut can do, and it's up to us to make sure we have selected the correct one so you can tell the Cricut what to do. So as you can see with a Maker, you can cut, draw, score, engrave, and this is why it's so important to make sure you have the right machine, because each machine does different things. You can also come over to the layers panel over here and see on this right over here that it says cut. So we know that at the moment we're telling the Cricut, hey, I want you to cut this text, but we don't want to cut, right? We want to draw. So to change it, all you do is click on this drop down and click on draw. And that's really as simple as it is. You just need to switch the line type. But what I wanted to show you guys today is that, as you can see, the Cricut now has created this drawing to be an outline of the text. And we get tons of questions on this, and we understand it can be a little frustrating at first. So it's important to know that there are two kinds of fonts. There are writing fonts, and then I'll just say that there are non-writing fonts. You can draw any font that you want, but if you're using a non-writing font, your Cricut is going to draw the outline of the font like you can see here. So let's explore this a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the hello. So currently we have the first box. The font is called Cricut Sans. This is a non-writing font. As you can see, it's going to draw the outline of the word hello. If we go to our next hello, I'm going to change the font and show you how to find the writing fonts. So let's go up to font and click on it. And then in the top right, we'll click filter, writing, and then Cricut. So now we have filtered through all of the fonts in Design Space, and we're just seeing the ones that are compatible with writing. And what this means is it's just going to be a single line design. It's not going to draw the outline. So let's take a look at this awesome font. Do you see how it's different now? I'll make this a little bigger for you guys. So this is just going to draw what you see, and it's a single line design. Versus this one, it's going to draw the outline. So that's the biggest difference to know and understand with fonts. You can use any font that you want as a writing font, but if it's a non-writing font, it's going to draw the outline. And maybe you're fine with that, and that's great. If you don't like it, unfortunately, your Cricut for non-writing fonts will only draw them this way. However, you can have it draw like this and then just go back in and manually color in the lines. But otherwise, if you don't want to have to do that, you can use writing fonts. So that's how you can search for writing fonts in order to draw. So just remember three things. One, you can draw with any font, but there are writing fonts, which is this one right here, and then there are non-writing fonts. And if you use a non-writing font, you'll have to color it in unless you just like the outline. You can go that route as well. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to draw images. Thankfully, it's the same exact process as drawing text. We're just going to switch the line type, but I wanted to show you a few kind of tips and tricks along the way. With images, you can either draw images that you find in Design Space when you click on Images and search through them. And you can also draw uploaded images. So let's just start with drawing your own uploaded images. And I just want to show you this really quick, just so you know, if you go ahead and upload your own image, like I've uploaded this arrow, you can draw, but just how non-writing fonts are going to draw the outline, so the same thing's going to happen here. When we switch the line type to draw, it's actually going to draw the outline. So again, you just would have to go in after you're finished drawing and manually color it in to achieve that single line look if that's what you're going for. Otherwise, just know going in ahead of time, because again, this is not an image that was specifically designed to be drawn with your Cricut, it's going to draw the outline. I found that with the uploaded images, this is what happens. I just wanted you to be aware of that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And now we're going to look at images found in Design Space. So we'll click on Images. Once again, just like with fonts, you can draw any image, and there are going to be images that were designed to be drawn and images that weren't. So as you just saw with the arrow, the Cricut was going to draw the outline of the design. And that same thing is going to be true here. If we choose any of these images that were not intended to be drawn with the Cricut, it's going to create the outline of the image just like you saw with the arrow. So just know that going in. But I wanted to show you how you can filter through in these images to find images that will be specific to drawing. So if we go over to the filters category on the left-hand side, we're going to select art type. So open it up and click draw only. So as you can see, it just pulled up 7,800 different images, and all of these images you can draw. But what's important to know is that it's still showing us items that you can cut and draw. In other words, there are multi-layers to the design. So for example, do you see this card right here? It's going to cut the flowers and the text, and it's going to just draw these lines. So a way to double check if something is a multi-layer image, you can just look at it and see if there are different colors. That's one way to know. Otherwise, if you're not sure, you can click on the image, click insert, and then on the layers panel over here, you'll see that it says draw and cut. So now if we hide the birthday wishes portion, that's all the Cricut was going to draw. So that's called a multi-layer image. Now if we head back over to this filters panel and click on layers, you'll see that there's two options, single layer images and multi-layer. It's automatically going to show us both because we haven't filtered one off. So if you're looking for those multi-layered images like these cards, you can select that here. Otherwise, if you're just looking for images that are purely only able to draw, nothing else, click on single. So now when you filter through, all of these images were designed to be drawn. They will be drawn as you see them here, which is pretty incredible when you consider some of these designs. Another thing that I wanted to point out, in this search bar up here, you can search for terms using different keywords of what you're looking for. So let's say we wanted to search for a flower. So now we're telling the Cricut, hey, I want you to show me flowers that are draw only and are single layer images. So when we search through here, these are all flowers that the Cricut can draw. They're all going to draw exactly as they appear. So we'll click on a flower, click insert, and now if you look over in the layers panel, you'll see that it's just going to draw the entire thing, and it's going to draw it as is, which is really pretty. So these designs were created to be drawn images. So again, just like with the fonts, you can draw any image, but if they are not images that were designed to be drawn, like this one here, then it will create an outline just like with the text. So just know that going in, you can draw any of them, but there are some slight differences between designs that were created to be drawn and designs that were not. So the last thing I want to show you guys before we get to the project is how to attach your text. So for example, in this project that I'm going to show you in just a little bit here, we are making gift tags. So we're going to be working with a multi-layer image, right? We have this gift tag here. We want the Cricut to cut it. But then I went ahead and added some text. I used a writing font called DJ Flirt, and I want to add it on top of the gift tag. So I want the Cricut to cut the gift tag, and then I want to tell the Cricut to draw the word grandma. So I'm going to size this down here quick, and I want to get this centered on my gift tag. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it, but then I'm going to go ahead and select the both of them. And then up here, I'm going to click on Align and Center Horizontally. We will also center vertically so that it's perfectly aligned. So now, as it appears on our canvas, it looks like the Cricut is going to draw the word grandma on top of the tag that it's going to cut, right? But actually, if we go ahead and click on Make It, it's not. It has them separated and it doesn't know to add the text onto the tag. So what we need to do is use a tool called Attach. And thankfully, it's super simple to do this. So I'm going to highlight again both the tag and the text. So I've got them both highlighted, you can see over here. And then down below, I'm going to click the word Attach. And then you can see on the right-hand side that they are both attached. So when you move them around, they are grouped together and they're not going to move. So you can resize your tag if you want, and they'll both be resized together. But what's most important to know is that the Attach tool tells your Cricut, hey, cut that base layer, cut the tag, and then draw the text on top of the tag. So now when we go to click on Make It, it's perfect. It's going to do exactly what we want it to do, which is cut the tag and then add the text. So regardless of if you're using text or an image, if you want the Cricut to draw the text or the image on top of a card, on top of a gift tag, or whatever it may be, you need to tell it to attach to it. So that's how we use the Attach tool, and that's how simple it is. Now I want to show you really quick how I made this project. I will include the link below for these designs if you're interested in using them, and of course you can modify them as well. So one quick tip here, let's say you're using this grandma tag and you wanted to say something else. All you need to do is detach the text from the tag. So right where it said attach earlier, if you just click detach, now I can move the word grandma off and change it to something else just by double clicking and typing something else in. So that's how you can modify it to your needs. I'm not going to go into too much of the specifics. For this yay up here, I use the slice tool, and I'll save that for another video. And actually, I'll include some comments on the blog post about how I did this. The link is in the description below if you're interested. This video is already just getting super long, so I don't want to go into it too much, but I will include these designs in Design Space for you to use. The link is below. So we've got all of them made, and the next thing we're going to do is click on Make It and get going. So for these gift tags, I am using craft board paper. This is from Cricut. We sell it on our website, so I'll include a link in the description. It's just this really thick paper, and I like to use it because I feel like holds its shape a little bit better. So I have lots of scraps that I'm actually going to be using up for this project. So I'm just going to get it placed on a light grip mat. You can also use a standard grip as well. Push down. And then I'll use a scraper tool to help push it or help apply it as well. Then we'll get this loaded in. Alright, so I've got the mat loaded into the machine. I've got the fine point blade in the B slot, and then I'm going to be using a 0.4 tip pen in black. This is actually the one that comes with your machine, so you may have it. We're going to put it into the A slot. I'm going to drop it in, and then you'll need to listen for a click to ensure that it's properly installed. So I just dropped it in, and now we'll listen for the click. And it's perfect. So I'm gonna close the clamp. And then what the Cricut's going to do, I'm gonna get this going actually. What the Cricut will do is draw first, and then it will cut. But what's nice is you don't have to swap out the pen for the blade or whatever. It'll just do it all in one swoop since there's the double tool holder. So we'll let that get going, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. So we're all done drawing and cutting, so we're just gonna hit the unload button to unload, and then I like to take my pen out right away because let's be honest, sometimes I forget to put the cap back on. So we'll get that closed up, and now we'll remove the tags from the mat. So to remove the craft board from the mat, I'm actually gonna flip the mat over and then bend the mat back. And hopefully you can see this okay. I'm holding the paper straight while the mat does the bending, and then you can just kind of pop your tags right off. This way, the mat does the bending and not your paper. So I always use that little trick. That's all the work that we have to do. Then from here, I'm just gonna attach them onto some bags, but I wanted to show you how this turned out. So two really similar gift tags. You can customize these however you want. Obviously, I combined a little bit of cutting with some writing, and honestly, I'm just so impressed. Like, those words are pretty tiny on here, and the Cricut can draw them. So I love using that feature. And then on here is just a simple grandma, but I just love the little touch, and people know that it's homemade, and I just think it's super sweet. So I love using the drawing feature with my Cricut. Again, these are writing fonts, which is why they're single lines instead of using a different font and then having to fill it in. Just know that going in, it's best to use writing fonts unless you're fine coloring in the lines, basically. But that's how you use the drawing feature and how you can make some gift tags. So have fun with it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. But as always, thanks for watching our video.